guiding you through your nightmares tonight. Yes, I know you weren't planning on having any nightmares, but it does seem like you are somewhat overdue. Yes, I know you had nightmares last night. What's your point exactly? Okay, well, you are in very good hands, if I do say so myself. I don't mean to brag, but I am known for creating some of the most bone-chilling, blood-curdling nightmares that one has ever experienced. So you're in very good hands. You're going to have an absolutely terrible night's sleep. I can assure you that. Now, I do have your file up here. So I can see that you do have a good range of fears and anxieties, phobias, things that creep you out that we can play with a little bit. So that's good to see, but I do want to make sure that we ask you some questions to make sure that these nightmares are really personalized and tailored for you. I want to know what will unsettle you, what will make your blood curdle, your bones chill, okay? So I'm going to ask you some questions. We'll go through some scenarios just to get a sense of how you feel, your preferences and unpreferences, okay? So we'll begin with some fairly rapid fire would you rather style questions. So, would you rather spend a night trapped in a haunted house or lost in a dark forest? Okay. Would you rather hear whispers that you can barely make out, or see shadowy figures in the corner of your eyes, but when you turn to look, then there's no one there? Okay. Would you rather be chased by a zombie or stalked by a serial killer? Would you rather find an old cursed seance board or a journal filled with cryptic dark rituals? Would you rather spend a night in a room filled with mirrors that reflect something behind you, but when you turn then there's no one there, or a room filled with creepy dolls and you're sure that every time you turn your back the dolls move by themselves? Okay. Would you rather be able to see ghosts but no one believes you, or you're haunted by memories that no one else remembers? Would you rather wander a foggy street at night with the feeling of being watched, or be trapped in a house with no escape and strange noises coming from the walls? Okay. I see. And out of all of those questions, is there anything that's sticking in your mind now? Is there anything that fills you with a sense of dread and despair? Okay. Next, let's go through some different settings for your nightmares tonight. So the first setting that we have is an abandoned asylum. And it is covered with vines, the paint is peeling, and inside there's furniture strewn around. There's rusty medical equipment that you don't even want to think about what it was used for. How does that make you feel? Scared? And what might unsettle you the most in this abandoned asylum? Is it the medical equipment? Maybe it's the doll that belonged to a former patient. Or maybe it's the rocking chair that rocks back and forth of its own accord, even though there's no breeze. Okay. The next setting for your nightmare could be a foggy graveyard at, let's say, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's not a soul around, and you can see the tombstones rising through the mist. The inscriptions are barely visible, and you can't hear a sound except for the wind. But is it the wind, or is it in fact someone whispering? Run away, get out, save yourself, help me, help. How do you feel about that one? Perhaps instead of the wind rustling through the trees, perhaps you hear someone faintly crying. Yes, it's definitely someone crying. Or maybe it's the sound of someone chanting a prayer in a strange tongue that you don't recognize, but somehow you feel like you could join in and that you know the words. Which one of those sounds do you think would creep you out more? The next scenario we have is a deserted cabin in the woods. It is tucked away in a dark forest. The cabin seems to have been abandoned for a long time, and the floorboards creak with every step you take. You see that one of the floorboards is coming away, and you gently prise it off, and you find something that chills you to your core. What do you think it could be? What is this thing that terrifies you? Maybe it's a blood-soaked t-shirt. Maybe it is the diary of someone that seems to have been haunted by ghostly figures, or perhaps this person has descended into madness. Perhaps it's a voodoo doll with pins stuck in it, and the voodoo doll has an uncanny resemblance to you. Yes. Which of those things do you think would be the scariest for you to dream about tonight? Okay. That's very good to know. What about an abandoned theme park? An abandoned theme park with rides. The paint is faded and peeling, and you hear something. Maybe it's the unexpected sound of cogs turning, and it seems that one of the rides, which definitely hadn't been working just a second ago, has switched itself on and is now spinning around and around. Or maybe you hear the sound of music coming from one of the rides, maybe the teacups, but the music is distorted and eerie. Or maybe it's the sound of children laughing, but you know you're the only one there, and yet you can hear as clear as day the sound of children running and laughing and playing. How do you feel about those sounds, those scenarios? Okay, good. I think we are making some progress. And digging a little deeper into your psyche. Good. Let's have a look at some of the characters that could be joining you in your nightmares tonight. I have a wonderful list here. We have your typical ghost, a haunted spirit, haunted by its traumatic past, and it is bound to a specific location, maybe one of the locations we have discussed. I have a few in mind that would be perfect with the addition of this ghost. And maybe the ghost is weeping or wailing. Maybe it lets out a blood-curdling scream. And this ghost torments you, and you're not sure why. But you don't need to know. You don't need to know why. All you need to know is the dread and despair that this ghost imparts on you. So that's one of the characters you could be seeing later tonight. Another is the creepy doll that we have mentioned before. Its eyes seem to follow you around the room, and it always seems to pop up in places that you're sure you haven't left it. And your doll's hands dipped in blood. Everyone loves a classic, creepy, haunted doll. There's something so sinister about children's things being haunted. And this one could also pair very nicely with some sounds of children laughing, but there are no children around. Okay. I'm glad you agree. Another character that could be joining us tonight is the masked serial killer, with a mask to obscure their identity, and you catch a glimpse of them suddenly as you are driving past. You see them through your window at night. You see them when you are not expecting them. You see them in the mirror behind you. What's that? It's the masked serial killer. How do you feel about this character? Okay. I think that this one has the potential to be very effective if done correctly. And what can also be really effective is if this masked serial killer that you are truly, truly terrified of, that stalks you, that haunts you, that is the thing of your nightmares, when you remove the mask and it turns out to be someone that you loved, that you trusted. How terrifying. And what would be the person that it would hurt you the most if they were revealed to be the masked killer? Who would you feel most betrayed and shocked to find out that this was them? Yes, okay. And do you think that a nightmare about this may have the potential to ever so slightly change how you feel about them? Maybe only temporarily, but it would plant a seed, a teeny tiny seed of doubt in you about this person, and then maybe a tiny, teeny seed of doubt about everyone that you love and trust. Okay. Next, we have the vengeful witch, a powerful figure steeped in dark magic who creates potions and spells, uses voodoo dolls, and is full of such a dark and strong rage against you, and uses all of her dark power against you. How do you feel about this character? Okay. I see. And finally we have the mad scientist, obsessed with the pursuit of knowledge and will do whatever it takes, good or evil, to achieve their sinister goals. They may experiment on you. How do you feel about this one. Okay. Good. Well, I think that this is probably enough information for me to go ahead and create and install some truly sinister, truly terrifying nightmares that you will not stop thinking about for days. You will wake up and be so relieved to be awake you won't want to close your eyes again. The night's sleep you will have will be terrifying, and you will be hoping and wishing for the day to come around. We're going to have so much fun. So I will get started with the information that I have and prepare some truly, truly terrifying dreams, some wonderful, wonderful nightmares for you to enjoy tonight. Okay, so thank you very much for all of the information you've provided me with, and I will use all of this against you to bring your darkest, deepest fears to life. Not really to life, of course, but your subconscious doesn't know the difference while you are asleep. So I will see you shortly, and thank you for answering my questions. I'll let you go now to your terrible night's sleep,